What's up, YouTube? So being humble is being useful. Either you're going to make yourself humble or you're going to make yourself useful. And the more humble you become, the more useful you become. So you have to remain observant from your core. The more you remain observant from your core, then the more everything is a plus. The lower you stay to the ground, again, humility. Like oceans are lower than rivers, so rivers flow. Everything goes to them. Everything flows downward to them. That's why the ocean has such abundance, because it's made itself lower, because of the humility. That's humility personified or expressed in a physical form, and you can personify it yourself because you are mainly moisture yourself. So when you observe to that degree, then you forget the desires, and you forget who you are, and you forget what people are. And then you forget that you're even there observing. And that is the true state of peace, and that, because the judgments and the separation and the pride, it's all the same thing. Judgment is pride, self-judgment, it's all just a separation of, it's just the illusion separation. So it's just too heavy. You gotta realize that which has no form can enter where there is no space. This shows the value of non-action, or actions that are in accord with life themselves, because they clean themselves up as they're happening. They're complete actions. But if you operate from a place of judgment and reaction, it will never be complete. It will never be holistic. So you'll be constantly chasing your own tail and constantly compensating your entire life. So the judgment is too heavy. That's what you have to understand. And as far as being understood, you have a compass. The body is a compass. So you feel fear with your fear. You feel love with your love. All of that. You feel, it's all about receptors, and that's why solipsism is the reality. There is only one consciousness. Solipsism, one consciousness. Solitude, soul attitude, oneness. There is only one consciousness. So you're feeling all the things you feel from other people with your receptor. And your receptor is them, if you can follow me that far. So you don't need people to understand you, because you should be constantly dropping definitions or your understandings of yourself, your concepts of yourself. That should be constantly being dropped from breath to breath. So how could you ask somebody else to understand you? That's like saying, that you're not with them. You're more so like, I'm with me. I'm with you dealing with me, in a sense. Like we're both dealing with me, instead of, everything is one and everything is together and nothing is separate. So what you feel, I feel, and there's no separation from the feeling. And so you have that compass that lets and when you can see when people can receive you. And, again, when you're giving from your core and you're giving from a complete place, there's no beginning or ending to receiving, because by giving, you enjoy it. So you're receiving by giving. And you experience others at the same time doing the same thing, because as you give, they're receiving, and that allows them to give. And that, again, you have to receive to learn how to give. So it's just that fear of losing. It's just that fear of losing that keeps you in a shallow breath, that keeps you holding on to things, and that just keeps things from coming and flowing and staying with you infinitely. Everything is with you infinitely. So you can only lose objects. So if it's a person in your life that you fear losing, you've already treated them like an object. And you already have to reevaluate your whole life at that point. If you're trying to keep objects close and that's your value system, then you already have to reevaluate. Fear of losing is losing. So if you fear losing her or him, you've already made them an object. You've already made you an object. You're already not operating from your true state of being. So 2020 Tantra on Amazon, info in the description.